Hey everybody, it's Jim and welcome back to another lesson of Introduction to Korn Shell. So last time we went over if you have a large program that has code repeated throughout it, one good thing to do is to take all that repeated code, put it in one location, as right here, and give that block of code a name. And whenever you want to run this block of code, you simply insert this name right here in your program. Generally, functions make your code more readable, they make your code smaller, and you only have to update your code in one place if you ever need to make a change to it. Now, a while back, we went over how Korn Shell programs can also take input arguments. And in this case, our input argument list has 5 entries. If you remember, this would be $1, this would be $2, $3, $4, $5, and this right here would be $0. Script name is, and the first argument, $1, second argument, $2. We did not have an 11th argument, so that's empty. And there were a total of 5 arguments entered. And this, once again, was a program we went over a while back. Now, the reason I bring this up is because functions can also be written to take in arguments. And that's what we want to go over today. So I've written a function, which we'll go over in a minute. And the function name is called cube. And oddly enough, it cubes whatever you give it as input. So this is our function cube, and this is our input to it. This is $1, and $0 is the name of the function, just as $0 was the name of the Korn Shell program as we typed it in on the command line. And the arguments that we passed to the program were $1 through $whatever. In this case, this is $0 exactly as it's typed in, and this is $1. This would also be $1, and this would also be $1. So going up to the top, we're introducing arguments to a function. And this is our function right here. We start out with the Korn Shell command function. We give the function a name, and anything within the curly braces is equivalent now to the word cube in this program. So I gave a little description of what this function does. It's a good idea to get into that habit. This function takes a value, in this case $1, and cubes it. I simply put this statement in here to show you that $0 does in fact turn out to be the name of the function, which in this case is cube. Another thing I did was I took $1 and copied over to another variable. It's a good idea to get into that habit. This allows you to mess around with the value within n and not affect $1. And if $1 changes on its own, that will not affect n, the value within n, after this assignment statement. And normally I would have chosen a more descriptive variable name, such as number. However, because YouTube doesn't allow very good resolution, I can only show a very little bit of text on the screen. So if I had done number, this statement would have been very big, and I would have had to pan out a lot, and the resolution would not have been good. So we're just assigning the value that they pass to the function, which is in $1, to n, and we cube it. And just a reminder, the double parentheses mean do math, and it assumes that anything within the double parentheses is a variable. Therefore, you do not need the $ in front of the n to get the value from it. And after we cube it, we end up putting out a print statement right here. And the reason why we have the -r in front is if $n is a negative number, then the print statement will see print -5, for example, cubed is, and then the total. Well, it will think that the -5 is actually a flag that goes to the print statement. It doesn't know that the -5 is actually part of this text that you want to print. Therefore, in order to make Korn Shell realize that the -5 is part of the print statement, you need to put a $R right before it. So once again, our script just takes in a number, it cubes it, and it prints it, and we also print the name of the function as saved in $0. Now, to call our function, once again, you give it the name of the function, and in this case, we're passing it a variable, a number, and we do this 3 times. So let's take a look at the output. We run our program by just typing in the name of the program, and as you can see, it called cube, and our first time it was cube space 1. So when we went into the function, it said $0 is cube, which was the name of our function, and then it said $1 cubed is total. So 1 cubed is still 1. We called the function again with cube space 5. Again, the name of the function is cube, and 5 cubed is 125. And we called it a third time with cube space -1, and we get an output of -1 cubed is -1. Now, originally when I wrote this program, I forgot to put the -R in for that print statement, and when I entered in a negative number, the print statement freaked out. So you do need that you do need that $R.